Hello, hello, hello. What I wanted to do is stop in and just share with you all something that I have been working on for almost 2 years now. For those of you that do not know me, I am Dr. Lori Smith. I am the CEO and founder of Active Elegant LLC and the founder of Sewing Our Sheets Empowerment. And I spent over 41 years inside of the federal government in both logistics and contracting, with the last 21 years of my federal career being uh, as a warranted contracting officer. So I am the one that used to sign the contracts. And so I've sat on the other side of the table. I managed collectively a portfolio as much as throughout the course of my career over $143 billion, and its potential is even greater than that. Advised over 11,000 contractors. And, I've seen great businesses come in, especially small businesses that really deserve their shot, from the other side of the table. And they weren't failing because, they weren't capable or they didn't know what they were doing. A lot of times it was just, hey, we just didn't know, or no one had gave them the complete story. They've been introduced to concepts, bits and pieces, so we got the hype down, but we weren't accustomed to threading it along. So from an evaluator perspective, because I've served as a source selection authority, as a CEO, porters, part of source selection boards, and understanding, what the significance of section L to M, and of course section C, inclusive of the performance work statement and or the statement of work, or the similar type of instructions, depending on the type of solicitation that was actually listed. So we say L and M, as a universal, statement to identify instructions, and evaluation criteria, right? But all solicitations are not structured in that uniform format, so it may look little different. But anytime you come across instructions to the offer that's otherwise constitutes section L, and anytime you come across evaluation criteria in a solicitation, that's your, section M, your evaluation factors, and or how the government is going to, evaluate you. So one of the things I've done, because, there's a lot of hype around proposals and opportunities. Times are, tough, writing, and making sure quantifiable data is presented, making sure that it's not the vanilla, everybody using the same prompt, not being mindful that you have to edit because it needs to be your story. And so it's like, how do we remedy that? How do we fix that? And one of the things I did that I'm actually quite proud of is developed and have been working on this proposal platform called VETR. That's VETR, which stands for, which, indicates, value, experience, teaming, and responsiveness. Because again, that's the world we live in, and that is how we should be. You should be thinking, because that's how they're going to evaluate you. And the idea is for you to win more contracts, not by providing, generic information, but by allowing your story to be represented in the four corners of a document. So this is my product, VETR proposal application. It is an elegant product, very user friendly, I think. Wonderful features, but it is live. We're doing some pre-launch, webinars and demos. We're also just, out here just telling the story, right? You can start a trial for 14 days free with no credit card. And again, you can take we have a proposal readiness assessment in here where, you can take it because it's informative. It's not just, hey, come write a bid. The idea is, hey, this becomes a platform that you can manage your contract and the aspects of your organization. Through the assessment, it's about telling us where you're at. Are you new to federal proposals? Are you navigating policy and program changes? Or are you scaling capture and proposal operations? And so there are specific workflows and starting points embedded into the platform to help you, on your journey, wherever you happen to be along the way. Again, there are 4 pillars: value, experience, teaming, and responsiveness. Typically, we're parsing RFPs within, 90 seconds. Some may take longer depending on the volume of the document and or, your internet connections. We are averaging and pulling out at least 40 plus of those shall requirements, so those must do things from a compliance perspective, pulling it out. And what I love about this platform is that it's in boundary AI as a result of our being on AWS Gov Cloud, which means that your content never leaves the boundary of your profile. So it's not training other AI tools. It's built for capture teams pursuing efforts across whichever government agencies that is out there, and is also linked to Demand Star, which is have your state level RFPs and solicitations out there. The It has a scoring, whereas then as you build your profile on VETR, what it does is based on you telling your story. You're adding your capabilities. You're adding what makes you different. You're adding your resumes of yourself and your experiences, your key personnel. You're adding any pies of previous proposals that you've written. You're adding your CPARs from any kind of work that you've done. So it's really taking your information, whereas in you yourself becomes, the theme that is up front. And once we parse that information, and once your story is included into your profile, what happens is, as you because we're connected to SAM.gov, so when you go out there and start searching for opportunities and you put your NAICS code and or your NGIP code when you're looking for state level work into the system, and then it pull up opportunities with those codes, it's going to actually score you predicated upon what they're asking for or the need for that solicitation in relations to what you've already articulated or communicated in your profile that you are. So early on, before you even start work or spending a dollar or extra dollar, whether or not what your standing in potential position it is, which one should rise to the top, or which one should, okay, if my score is 20 or in the 30s, maybe that's not what I need to be looking at, because it's already identifying that I have a massive gap. So that's teaming. What do I have in place and things of that nature. So I love the fact that we actually score the proposal differentiation method that helps businesses turn strengths into standout scorable advantages aligned with the customer's mission and evaluation criteria. And then what I also love about the platform is that it's taking you from the RFP submission, all the way, till, actually the whole life cycle. So it's like a three-move kind of thing. It's going to connect your resources, it's going to parse that requirements, and then it facilitate your being able to collaborate and win, which is another wonderful thing. Because what you're going to learn inside of the platform is that, hey, where someone else is charging me $1,800 or $3,000 or so for one seat, hey, I can get 5 people with VETR, even on the startup. So the value for small businesses is that it puts you into the game that incomparable to other platforms that are out there that's offering similar or like services, whereas then they're looking at enterprise or larger businesses. This provides you an opportunity to come in at a wonderful price point to make yourself, stand out amongst the crowd, and to provide, quality products, even if it's in a team environment. Everything a capture team needs, and nothing that they don't. Again, we got the capture. You're going to capture the intelligence, that thinks ahead. That's your pre-RFP signals, your agency forecast, and competitor wins, all attached into a single capture board your team actually, uses. I mean, you get to capture this, you get to review this information. This is something that's visible to all of you. When you identify an RFP, it's going to parse it. And then again, too, as AI parse it, you're going to have this, it's going to score the confidence it has as to how much of the compliance, because it automatically builds your compliance matrix. And so that gets scored as to how compliant and how, strong and solid it is. I love the idea of the fact that based on, again, your story, it's going to help you understand truly how to price to win based on historical award data, agency budget cycles, and things of that nature. You get to have it at your fingertips where you are learning it and you have it much more readily available. So you're not out here just pricing, all willy-nilly. You are able to really be competitive in your pricing aspects of the requirements. And then the analytics, you're able to track, what it is that you are winning, how much you have, in the pipeline, how much you're spending, what are you exhausting. All of that is a live dashboard that you get to have and utilize. And it's built to connect you with your government edition stats. So again, it's connected to SAM.gov, FPDS. I have that here. We will potentially just go ahead and sunset that as well. Again, I started this in 2024, and at the time, FPDS was still a player. I am mindful of the transition to everything to SAM.gov, but you got GovWin, Salesforce, Google Workspace, DocuSign, AWS Cloud, storage. These are your stacks that you potentially are already utilizing in your business, where you get to connect, integrate them here as well. Again, the plans and the offers are really available. There is a free trial. There's a startup plan, and we have a professional plan. And of course, we have the custom plan. Right now, again, we are running a founding member pricing. So again, if you lock in any one of the startup or the professionals, you can lock in that monthly rate at a reduced amount for 2 years, the first 24 months, of your subscription. As it relates for federal security and compliance expectations, we are built for federal trust. Actually, we are very transparent in what we are doing. As you can see, this is the status of our enrollment or process or certifications or into each respected area. FedRAMP 20X, that SIM Prep, SOC 2 Type 2, it's underway. NIST SP 800-171, our controls are mapped. CMMC level 2, we are aligned. Section 508, as you can see, there are no violations. And Section 889, that program is in place as well. We have a Q&A section. Again, you can request a demo or show up to one of the webinars. And then also here too, down at the bottom, as you can see, our intent, there's a free assessment. There's various roadmaps. You got an ROI calculator. If you want to, try to determine, hey, what's the return on my investment? If I invest in VETR opposed to, what could be that return on my investment? Trying to mitigate that overhead, because again, it's going to reduce hours and it's going to reduce the number of bodies you have to have, right? So let's say, without me changing these numbers, if you were submitting 12 proposals a year, the average contract value was even just $500,000, and you had a 15% win rate. You're spending $80 hours per proposal, and it costing you $125 an hour for that. Of course, that number you increase that number by the number of people you have working on your proposal. What it lets you know is that this is the amount of additional contracts wins you get over. You win within that year. The labor savings that you get from, again, leveraging VETR. It lets you know that you're in the negative because again, the subscription costs annually, regardless of which level you register or subscribe at, it in essence cancel itself out, and you increase your net annual benefit. But this is the percentage of your first year return on investment with a projected win rate of 20%, because of course your win rate is going to go up because you've enhanced your efficiency. Of course, you can change these numbers, and again, it will show you the exact amount per your scenario. There is, we will be, we have various types of roadmaps that we will be providing. You got and you can subscribe to the various updates. It lets you know where we're at as relates to updating, the systems. What are we launching? What's available on the platform? What's planning? All of that, what's in development. You will have all of this information readily available to you. So, you can sign up for the alerts, but it just lets you know that we are not sleeping on this platform. We are really committed to what we're doing. We have agency playbooks, predicated upon, what agency, you are pursuing. And so you're able to look at the various playbooks based on the type of requirements, they are routinely, putting out there, for solicitations. Again, everything wrapped into the various frameworks so that you can understand how it's applied to those specific areas and how you can leverage it for your organization, specifically for the various set asides, the various NAICS codes. So again, there's various playbooks, and of course we have our set aside playbooks as well, and just a lot of great information that helps you get started with what it is that you're trying to do as to move your agency forward, as well as playbooks as relates to the various types of NAICS codes, and from, again, each NAICS code has its own, evaluation patterns, contract vehicles and competitive dynamics. And so these playbooks apply better framework to the way contracting officers, is typically actually inclined to score your proposals in your industry. So this is just wanted to just go through here and just share with you what the actual website, what is available to you. We will be adding stories in various blogs. We do have various blogs out here, already that we're just uploading information, making things available. Again, we will also provide with government updates and things of that nature. We also will be hosting webinars and workshops, and they will live here live, on the platform. And our intent is, as more users come in, we will use certain stories to develop case studies, and they will be posted, here as well. We are working with a few folks now and looking to have their case study, documented and captured here on the website here soon. Now, what I want to do is shift a little bit, and I want to go over here to the actual, dashboard itself. And so that you can get behind the curtain and see, what the dashboard looks like. So when you come inside of your dashboard, what you will immediately have is going to let you know how, aside from your agency name, it's going to show that you're active in the dashboard, or your registration is active. But, and across here, you can see how it works. Again, you can upload a new proposal and you can upload a RFP. But what it shows you here is how many active proposals you actually have in progress. It identifies to you your win percentage over the last 12 months. It will let you know the compliance score across average score across proposals and any kind of pending tasks. Again, there's be a VETR score. Again, it's going to be assessing, based on the content and the information you have loaded up about your own organization. It's going to score that information as well. It lets you know what proposals are at risk, anything that you're tracking. So your dashboard is going to let you know from a time perspective. And again, your overall pipeline view of what you have in queue and in-house. It identifies trends. It's going to do a win-loss analysis. Again, your compliance progress and any kind of quick actions you want to take, that's over here to the side. You want to add a NAICS code, you can add it here. It's also going to identify to you any recent proposals that you have already loaded in your database under your profile and or your work, and it will provide the status of that as well. It has the AI agent here. We have built 3 agents thus far. We have a capture agent, and it scans your live opportunities and scores bid, no bid, so you never miss a short fuse pursuit. We also have a proposal agent. It's going to draft every section, cite your past performance, and runs a compliance pass on demand. And then you have a compliance agent that continuously rechecks every requirement as content changes and flags gaps and submissions. All of this is built internal to the platform to, again, to assist you and help you stay as accurate as possible. As I mentioned, you have an inbox here. Again, anything that comes in, all notifications, any kind of status, working with internal to your organization, that information is going to come here for all notifications. And this is your inbox. And then, you can come here and hear your opportunities. You can search for opportunities. You can just say search opportunities, and it will pull up whatever is live, out there, as you can see. And then, as you could earlier, if you recall, I mentioned about based on your profile and your information, that you loaded up about your organization and your capabilities, it's going to score you. So here's that fair fit score. And so it lets you know, where you're at, as it relates to a fair fit, why this score is service disabled, veteran owned, small business, and then the contract value and small business sweet spot. So it gives you, information that you can use, and understand why you have the score, that you have. And so that is, but these is everything. These are live, requirements and actions, and it's from SAM.gov, and so but it comes to, and you can just peruse through this here. And if there's something that interests you, now you can go over here and pull it forward and start building right from this list. Again, we got FPDS here. I am mindful that this is moved to SAM.gov, and we will update this as well. I will make sure that this gets updated. But again, the idea is just to, I wanted you to know that we had that database, so we have that award data attached as well. So again, you can just understand and start building your pipeline. So how do I leverage this information? How do I understand who got the award on something? And this allows you to go find out what's happening based on NAICS codes, running inquiries over time, and just doing a search. Inside of here, there is a community, and so you're able to connect, have conversations. And so we are really excited about the community as it continues to be built out and as it comes online. Here, when we get into compose, these various proposals, and we can look at this one here. This is a comprehensive window washing proposal, and you come over here, and if you want to edit, and what you will see is that the areas that is being worked, it'll show you if something's not started, it hasn't started. But typically, when you want to go into a particular area, again, you already have information loaded about you, and so you could just say draft with AI, because you're ready to get that draft started, at least get something, start pulling, and it's going to pull from your information you have about yourself, and then you're able to sharpen it and edit this inside of the database. You can also, as you can see over here, the various docs, any kind of intel you have, you can upload information about it, and you can also, add your comments or workload, assign this to a particular team members. That's the other beauty of the platform. The RFP parser, again, once you upload a RFP, the parsing status is provided to you, and it gives you a confidence score from AI as to the likelihood that they pulled and parsed everything accurately. Again, the goal is to mitigate, excess duplications, or, give you some time back, but again, we're not taking your knowledge. That is not what it's doing, trying to think for you or think about what it should be. No, this is your understanding, your position being enhanced, with efficiency. And so you're able to, again, come down here and view and see, the status of everything that's been parsed. That's the Washington one that was uploaded. You can view the results. It lets you know that from parsing that window washing RFP, there was 118 total requirements, 100% mandatory, it's rated 1, it's 97 gated actions, and there's a 94% level of confidence that we got everything. Again, always you're going to review anything anyway, so you're going to make sure that you do that review. And then the other framework analysis, as it's the value it sits, 23 of those are aligned to your experience. 3 will potentially require you to have teaming, and 8 assets is gonna align under responsiveness. And down here, everything you can see, supplemental insurance, again, that's a gated, what do I need to do for that? And it's going to let you know the requirements text. This outline the minimum insurance coverage required. And so ensure compliance with the specified insurance coverage. And so we got a 95%, level of confidence that we, scrape that right. This is accurate. So you just need to go make sure that whatever that dollar amount of that insurance is, I have that already in place. And so for anything that's down here, all 118, you can come and look through them. If you want it to make clear sense to you, you want to know which ones are aligned with value, it's letting you know here. And then again, it's going to give you an explanation so that you can understand prices will be evaluated for completeness and reasonableness. Ensure that your price is complete and reasonable. And so again, these are just warnings to let you know, hey, this right here is a key component of how they're going to look at you as relates to value. So you want to come here and understand what this information means and what is being communicated to you for you as a foot stop. That's how we use it. What does the requirements text say, and then what are the compliance instructions, for this right here. So you just want to make sure that you are doing the things that you need to do to ensure that your proposal is presented in its absolute best way. When we come here to teaming, again, it's section M. It lets you know the relative importance of the information from a price perspective. How is it otherwise, being otherwise impacted? The extension of services, the extend services. What does this mean to me? I need to look at these clauses. How does this impact me from a teaming perspective as relates to the type of contract? How does this impact me otherwise? So it gives you the requirements text, and then you have to prepare, offer, assuming a firm fixed price contract, things of that nature. And of course, 86 requirements as relates to responsiveness. And all of these are related to responsiveness. And so you want to go through all 86 of those and make sure that you are responsive to what is being asked of you by the federal government. Of course, you have content Copilot. Copilot is the platform that we use to build this off, but you're going to see here real soon. The cool thing about it is if you don't want to use Copilot, guess what? You don't have to. You can change it to be whatever you want it to be. You can draft when you have your proposals, your drafts, your factor drafting, you can choose a proposal and just look at, what the factor drafting in. It lets you know based on what's in here about you already, your win probability, is like 82.5%. That's a very high win probability. And then, but it's going to let you know why it's there. Now you fix this here, this security and pricing pass fail gates, that's going to increase your win probability. But you can start, drafting over here on this side in the next window. As I mentioned, team review. You can run a review by the team. It puts your proposal in front of an AI review team, a compliance, past performance, win themes, and pricing specialist, then get a synthesized, prioritized action plan. You can run the team review on a particular proposal, and it's going to, communicate or articulate to you, what are those things that you need to continue to work on and or build up. And so see here, based on that, you got a 40 out of 100. And so these are some top actions. You want to go through here and identify where the issues are at, where the risk, or where am I weak at. My past performance is letting me know before I even submit it, how I am maybe otherwise viewed and or looked at. So you want to go and fix anything that's a weakness or risk to mitigate, the rejection, but also increase your win probability. But it's going to identify your strengths as well. So again, the government is about risk mitigation. It's now more so than ever. So you want to understand, how can I mitigate the risk attributable to my response to this RFP? And so again, it's opportunity to see it before you hit submit. This is a form fill. You can just cut and paste various information in here. This is your compliance. Again, it's letting you know as you work through various items. It lets you know where what's been approved, what's in progress, what's not started. And so this is a compliance component of my matrix. Where am I at on the status of my matrix? And once, I have green on all of this here, again, it's letting me know where I'm at in the process of making sure that I have a compliant submission. Women eligibility check, of course, you can check that here to determine whether or not, you meet in the eligibility check for women-owned small business. Again, submission readiness. Before you submit anything, you can make sure that everything is accurate. The accounts and credentials you need to get set up and certified. You want to make sure that you are credentialed and you are ready on those. So it lets you know that information as well. You can track tasks that you workload assigned to someone. Who is it assigned to? The status of everything. You can apply various filters and you can track it right here. Once you have to approve something, you can view it, edit it, approve it right here. And so it's letting you know this is ready for a review, medium, priority there. And so this is what I need to do. It also lets you know that this is something you got to do. It lets you know this is something that's already in progress. So again, you're able to monitor, tasks amongst your team and those that you have assigned a certain specific task to do. The various action plans, 30, 60, 90-day action plans to drive, execution towards your win. I mean, these are things that you can do as well. Create your various action plans. You also win themes, based again on your story, what you have about yourself, in your profile. It's going to communicate and articulate to you based on what your capability statement said, what your key personnel resumes or what your resume said, any prior proposals, any CPARs that you have about your company, any past performance ratings that you already have. It's going to let you know, win things predicated upon a particular proposal. And then from here, you can add that win theme and that information to your to the proposal. When we talk about capture, again, we were looking at capture. Capture is the past performance. Here's my past performance. Again, how many contracts I have, what's my rating on those, but you're tracking your information here, and then you can view those details, and then you'll know what is available to you for a particular requirement. The teaming board, here it allows you to identify particular contractors that very well may be potential teaming partners. You can manage them and collaborate here. It lets you know the social economic set aside. It tells you whether it's a strategic or preferred, relationship or potential. But again, you're gonna know cybersecurity. This is letting you know the core competencies. Very strategic. Gives you some contact information. You can start viewing details about that organization here. Same thing. It lets you know why a affiliation or a teaming partner, is viable for you, your organization. But it also let you know how it fits and align within your organization. So it's strategic and or preferred. Some may just be nice to have, but it's going to be a bit more descriptive in letting you know the information about that organization. Again, we will put case studies, or these are your case studies that you will have in here. You can choose your past performance. You can create a star reference. You can generate the case study that you need to write up for that particular past performance that you did. And then it's going to be over here. It's going to let you know the situation, the task, the action, and then it gives you the results. And then you're able to copy this full case study and put it inside of your document or wherever you are. This was generated one in the car format, where again it's the same concept, but it's a car opposed to, it's like, what do I need this to say and communicate and articulate? And so here's the narrative. It pulls the narrative from the information that it's included in there, and then it lets you know what your, from a quality perspective, what those key metrics are that is pulled out of that effort. And these are numbers now you get to insert into your narrative, as it relates to your past performance or your capabilities. For those occurrences where e-signature is accepted, you can enable that here inside of the platform as well. And then we have a library. You're going to have a content library. And of course, you can add your own to your own. You can add a new snippet. So you're able to add to your content as well to your own to your library. We have full templates. You can upload a full template here if you have one. If you have some, these are some teaming agreements templates, but you can also, upload your own. Again, teaming match. I think we looked at that, where it's identifying recommendations. The FAR library, we are connected to acquisition.gov. So if you need to look at the FAR and or its supplements, as you can see, it's all right here at your fingertips. And from a compliance perspective, and inside of the solicitation is also pulling those FAR clauses that are identifiable and pulled together from that particular solicitation. So they're right here at your fingertips. It's going to let you want to look at them. more category wise. So this small business, so this is the one, all the clauses that are small business, what's required. Go up here, check and read those clauses. From a payment perspective, it's letting you know all of those payment related clauses that are in the system. IP data rights, it's you want to check to see what's in here, read those, but it pulls the clauses, really in a protected area for you to view, opposed to you thumbing through the document. It's letting you know what's inside of there, and it makes it accessible so that you can otherwise, go and check them out. Any kind of lessons learned? I mean, capture and track insights from your proposals and your debriefs. You put it right up in here. Again, anything you capture as a lesson learned is going to help you going forward. It becomes, that repeatable information that only enhances and builds you from one document to the other. Any documents, you can upload all of your documents here to the document upload library. And we have the insights, the various analytics. It lets you know win rate, proposals, how much in the pipeline value, and how much, you want your won value. It gives you that. You have your win-loss analysis, so it lets you know that information as well. So it really gives you a bird's eye view of your operation, where you're at in your operation. Win probability, you can calculate the win probability of a particular requirement based on, that RFP, that proposal that you've done, you've written up. Once it's done and ready, even before it's submit, you can calculate your win probability. It's going to let you know where your scores fit at. And, so here I did okay with value, but my teaming, and I did great with responsiveness as well. But hey, I want to increase that. So it lets you know the areas where you need to go and review that information so that it can be realigned or reassessed, for you can improve it prior to submitting. Here's your AI Trust Center. It lets you know the number of jobs you put in here, the boundaries again, whereas in you are not, your stuff is, although you're leveraging AI, your information is not training anybody's AI. It stays right here within the confines of your profile. So it's in boundary. And so that is another wonderful thing. Whereas in, hey, no one is getting my stuff. And so it lets you know from a trust perspective. Any kind of feedback, you can share your thoughts and we will obtain that information. And then the thing that we do is once you've won the contract, we don't just leave you. Now what you're able to do is come over here and manage the contract again in the same platform. So you're managing the contract and you're able to, identify what's active, what needs attention. You're going to be able to now come and do the maintenance, of this contract and provide the respective deliverables. So it's going to help you, with that information as well. Your workspace here. And another thing, I think these AI connections, I said earlier, that you get to choose. These are the various AI connections that you can leverage and utilize from an in-boundary FedRAMP perspective. Here are the various integrations, whether they're government, FPDS, the demand start, e-signatures, document processing, communicator, Google Workspace is letting you know exactly, what we're doing when we do it. Of course, you got your activity log. It's going to let you know when your people are in here, when your people are not, who's doing what, again, if you're waiting for something, you're able to, come in and identify that. Again, you can sync your calendar. There's so much that you're able to do here. CRM integration, branding, your logos and things of that nature, API tokens, all of that information can be updated per your settings. So hopefully, I know that I really wanted to just walk through the through it, and hopefully I didn't scroll too soon or too fast, but really just wanted you to see, what happens when it happens, how we make it, work here, you know, um, this is just going into the different capture, I can run it now. To see what this gives me. And so it just lets me know what is going on. And so just telling me there's no action required, no live opportunity to score yet, add an opportunity and save the search. So again, if you want to have a capture, your capture agents or your agents do anything, it's that's how you're able to, go by doing that. Here's the proposal agent. You can go check that out there. It's letting you know the proposals that has come in, you know, gives you a status of that. And then you also can look at the compliance. It's going to let you know the compliance checks that has been from a compliance matrix perspective. There's 131 items, 3 have been done, 4 in process. And so it lets you know the status of making sure everything is in compliance. So I know this was took a minute. So thank you for hanging out with me. But I just wanted to take this opportunity and just showcase and share with you what VETR is and what we have in place. And it's all designed and set up with you in mind. Sometimes, there